Hi, and thanks for joining me. In this video, I'm going to ask, when does PR puff become propaganda? When does it cross that line? When does it become more than just enhancing someone else's reputation and actually start harming another human being or an institution? When does it cross that line where it's creating that level of division and is repeated often enough that it starts to become accepted as fact? When it starts to become believed, when a false narrative is enhanced and strengthened. So that's what I'm going to examine in this video. Now, I've made lots of notes, so I will be reading off my notes because it's just too much to remember in my head. And I also want to share it in a responsible and accurate way. So I don't want emotion to get in the way and for me to embellish too much. So glasses on. Let's get into it. Now, what motivated me to get started on all this? Well, obviously, the pile-on against Catherine, Princess of Wales. And I'm going to insert Kate Middleton here for the algorithm because all those that have bullied and been part of this flurry of abuse against Catherine, Princess of Wales, persist in calling her Kate Middleton. So if we're going to counter this narrative, maybe we need the algorithm to pick up that we're counting the narrative against Kate Middleton. Now, I've been searching for the aim in all this. Now, many people have suggested that maybe Meghan Markle or Prince Harry in some way have been associated with this attack against Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, in this video, I am not going to definitively prove that at all. But I did investigate what could be the possible motivation or the possible aim, if so. And what I've come up with is proving that she was right. Something as simple and narcissistic as that. Proving that she was right. Proving that she was right to leave the UK. Look at the harassment against Catherine, Princess of Wales. Now, all that would be fine if the harassment against Catherine, Princess of Wales originated in the UK. And I have found, and many have found, and it has since been proven factually, that it did not originate in the UK. It originated in the USA. All the initial conspiracy theories originated in the USA and they were picked up by UK tabloid media and they were spread by UK tabloid media as well as media all through Europe, all through Australia, all around the world. It was a global pile-on, but it originated in the USA. Now that's not casting aspersions on the good people of the United States of America. It's got nothing to do with them, but it just is where it all originated. And with all the investigation and research I've done over the last year, it doesn't surprise me because I've been seeing a lot come out of the good old USA for over a year. And it really hasn't got the attention I think it deserves. So I'm not talking about the usual Harkle-friendly media stable, which is Us Weekly, People, Newsweek, Marie Claire. I'm talking about digital rags. Publications that can push out the PR or propaganda, I'll leave you to decide, at speed and with relentless regularity. So I've been paying attention throughout this saga and there is enough for several videos. However, today I will draw you to one media stable, Penske Media. Now, Penske Media is a much respected media group, and I'm not claiming that they have anything to be ashamed of or that they're culpable of any untoward activity. I'm just introducing you to some of their reporting, particularly over the last 10 days. Now, Penske Media claims that their brands shape culture, and I can believe them. They publish many respected publications, including The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Stylecaster, and they actually own the South by Southwest brand, which is interesting, and a prolific digital publication called She Knows, and apparently she knows Meghan very well. Now, digital publications, as you know, require clicks and views in order to attract advertisers' revenue. They need that. They need to guarantee their advertisers at least 350 million views in a certain length of time in order for them to want to advertise with them. Now that's where it doesn't quite make sense because if they led with articles about Catherine, Princess of Wales, they would attract a lot more advertising revenue. If you just look at the stats, I mean, Catherine is way more popular than Meghan Markle throughout the whole of the United States of America. So it just doesn't make sense to be constantly leading with articles about Meghan Markle. I mean, Meghan Markle sort of oscillates between a negative popularity rating and then maybe up to a net positive 1. So, it's not what I'd be going with to make clicks and to attract that advertising dollar. So that led me to believe that maybe they're prepaid. Maybe they're prepaid for a lot of these articles. Maybe money is exchanging hands and it makes them worth their while. It sort of compensates them for the lack of organic advertising revenue when they lead with the very unpopular Miss Markle. Now, these digital articles being pushed out by She Knows online magazine under entertainment are not being written by interns or wannabes, and that's why I don't think people should necessarily dismiss them. They're being written by people with runs on the scoreboard. They're being written by top journalists with stellar bios who have a lot of experience, even some of them actually contributing editors. So I do take them seriously, and I've been astounded by the sheer number of articles that are being pushed out daily. I mean, over the last 10 days, at least 5 a day, probably more. So the sheer volume is astounding. And this volume of articles is either very favourable to Meghan Markle or very damning of Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Prince William. So it's interesting, prior to the Mother's Day invented scandal, we were actually bombarded with PR puff or propaganda, I'll leave that for you to decide, about the fact that Meghan Markle wished to reconcile with Princess Kate. Now, one of these articles appeared on Feb 19th by Stylecaster. And in this article, they were actually pushing the fact that any hope of reconciliation was really being held up or was in the court of Princess Kate or the Princess of Wales. Us Weekly quoted a source close to Meghan who claims she reached out to Kate and Charles and she wishes the royals the very best. The very best, what, before all this descended on them, Meghan? Wishes them the very best until they were going to be the object of a exhaustive online pile-on? We'll never know. Now, also in this article, it is stated that Harry's very quick visit to visit his father, this was explained away by his enormous discomfort that he feels around the royals, around his family. Then it descends into a ridiculous puff piece dragging up similar accusations that appeared in their docuseries on Netflix. And at the bottom of the page, surprise, surprise, is a detailed sort of advertorial, I'm thinking maybe placed by Random House, for Spare. So I guess there was a few bickies in that for Stylecaster, wasn't there? Now, so far, we're just talking about normal making hay for advertisers. I mean, there's nothing wrong in this. There's nothing untoward in this. Every digital publication does it. So what's the big deal? Well, Stylecaster has since gone on to have opinions such as Harry and Meghan's real feelings about the Kate Middleton conspiracy theories, where basically they rehashed in an article all the conspiracy theory, and then they made efforts to firmly distance Harry and Meghan from those said conspiracy theories, and they made the whole debacle quite believable until I noticed that this article was followed by an advertorial for Endgame. So could this be, and this is just a personal opinion and suggestion, could it be that anti-Kate books such as Spare and Endgame were receiving a boost from this anti-Catherine, anti-Princess of Wales pile-on? In order to sell anti-Kate books, do you have to create the villain? Do you have to create the villain that is believable enough that the general public will believe that there's a possibility that some of the claims made in Spare and a lot of the claims made in Endgame could actually be true? Interesting, isn't it? However, only speculation, so let us carry on. So maybe it's a coincidence that anti-Catherine and favourable Harry and Meghan articles flog Spare and Endgame in their following paragraphs. And there are many more Stylecaster examples. However, let's turn our attention to She Knows, and we'll limit it just to this week. 13th of March by Christian Bird, who is a contributing editor and a fine writer, and like I said, stellar bio. I mean, this woman has really achieved great things in publishing and as a journalist. The headline was Kate Middleton, of course it was, Kate Middleton's health crisis being equated with Princess Diana's media onslaught. And they quote Tina Brown, who appeared on CBS News, who stated that the wheels are coming off at the palace. The article concluded that the royal family's attachment to the royal rota is to blame. Now, where have we heard that before? Whose main bugbear was about the royal rota? Who went out of their way to shut out the royal rota from many of their overseas tours without success? Who stood at the front of a plane and said, "Thank you very much for coming, not that anyone invited you"? They said that to the royal rota. Interesting, isn't it? It's interesting how all these little clues crop up. Again, on the 13th of March, same day, headline, Prince William can't escape affair rumours now that they've spread to mainstream media in the USA. What are they referring to? They're referring to the rumours being spread by Stephen Colbert. Now, he's never had the Prince and Princess of Wales on his show, but he has had the Spare, hasn't he? The article states that no evidence has ever been found to validate these made-up stories. That's because no evidence can be found to validate any of these stories. And Rose Hanbury's representatives have put out a firm, statement that it's all rubbish. There is no veracity to any of these claims. And I really hope that some legal action is taken against people that have irresponsibly repeated these horrendous and unsubstantiated rumours. I hope they go after them really, really vigorously, because they were dragged up intentionally as part of this pile-on. And that's what I find particularly dehumanising and unbelievably cruel, because that has now affected two completely innocent women and their children and their husbands. It is just appalling. So I back Rose Hanbury in any action that she wants to take, and I hope she takes it very soon. 13th of March, She Knows magazine. Are you starting to see what I'm talking about now? This is the third hit piece rolling out from She Knows digital entertainment magazine about Catherine, Princess of Wales. And the headline says, insiders reveal one thing about Kate Middleton's recovery that is causing concern. It then goes on to say, reporting, or really starting the rumour, that Kate's staff members are in the dark as much as the rest of the world about her recovery. What a load of absolute cod's wallop. Obviously, they've probably covered their asses by ringing up Kensington Palace, whereupon they got a no comment. So then they've chosen to interpret that as, senior aides not knowing what's going on with Catherine, Princess of Wales. All sensible people in the world knew exactly what was going on. She had a serious abdominal operation, and we were told that she would not be seen until after Easter in order to recover from that operation. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to interrupt my notes here. I've been appalled by this Christopher Boozy character. I don't know a lot about him. All I know is he popped up for his 5 minutes of fame on Harry and Meghan's docuseries, and apparently he doesn't run bot farms, does he? He investigates bot farms. That's right. Sorry, got that wrong. And this Christopher Boozy character, who again I don't know much about, he said a very bullying statement on Twitter. I hope it's not representative of his usual usual MO. But on seeing the video and sort of pushing the conspiracy theory of Catherine at the farm shop that it wasn't Catherine, if you just enlarged it, you could see it was Catherine who had lost a little bit of weight and who wasn't wearing any makeup. But, why let facts get in the way of a good conspiracy theory? Well, after pushing the conspiracy theory, he says, well, if it really, and I'm paraphrasing, this isn't a direct quote. He says, if it really is Catherine, carrying a heavy shopping bag and walking briskly, why isn't she back at work? Wow, really? That's pretty bullying, Christopher Boozy. It really, really is, because you have no way of knowing what operation she actually endured. I would love all these people making these stupid bullying comments to actually experience a serious operation and understand that when you're recovering from a serious operation, sometimes you can manage to be up and about for half an hour and be okay, whereupon you have to go back to bed or rest for the next 2 days. The recovery from a serious operation is gradual and it's not linear. You don't recover like that on a graph. You recover up and down like a roller coaster. And sometimes you feel like getting out and seeing a bit of the world and doing something fun like picking up a few groceries from a farm shop for 10 minutes, just to sort of keep your mental health going okay. And then other times you need to lie down for 3 days and you can barely move. It's an up and down sort of recovery. I hate to wish a serious operation on all of you, but maybe it would make you have a little degree of humanity if you did. And of course, I would hope that you would recover very quickly and very well. Now, 13th of March again, fourth one. Got to keep noticing that date. Headline, She Knows magazine. Kate Middleton, controversial photo, did share a glimpse into the way Prince Louis's face has changed. Guess what? Even though the headline is trying to imply something rather breathless, exciting and undercover, it turns out they're talking about he lost a tooth. Okay, so we've got... Also, in this article, they claim that Catherine, caused the Where's Kate conspiracy. She caused the Where's Kate conspiracy with her Mother's Day photo. No, that is false. It originated way before the Mother's Day photo. It originated with a guy in the USA. He's being named and he's a known conspiracy theorist, and he recorded a video and he published it and it went viral pretty much. So it started weeks before. So how can you claim She Knows magazine that Kate was the cause of the Where's Kate conspiracy, for God's sake, with her Mother's Day photo? So we've got blame shifting, rewriting history, and gaslighting, okay? So is it still just PR puff? Is it still just silly entertainment, digital publications that we should ignore? Is it? And they double down with Photoshop experts and point out all the supposed Photoshopping, and eventually, like I said, they finish with Louis losing a tooth. Now, there were more, but I'm going to go on to the 14th of March now. We're going to go a day. I'm being kind to them because there were more. All across Prinsky media, there was a lot. And other media. I mean, we can't just blame them. The usual stable were going at it, and the UK tabloids were picking up on all this, and they were going at it too. But an astounding amount of this stuff is coming from the other side of the pond, from a media group that is based in LA and New York. Now again, like I said, they have every right to publish whatever they like. Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, and we have every right to evaluate it and look at it and counter it. 14th of March, headline, the royal family was given a chance to correct the Kate Middleton photo issue, but they chose another path. Now, in this article, it's amping up now. The royal family has been called out for their somewhat shady practices. We aren't told what those somewhat shady practices really are in detail, although they do quote the global news director of AFP, I'm not going to name him and give him his 5 minutes of fame, saying they were no longer a trusted source, and he equated the kill notice as an action usually taken with countries such as North Korea and Iran. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, 14th of March, same day. An article about the Diana Legacy Awards from She Knows, quoting experts saying that William not meeting with Harry is a missed PR opportunity. Ooh, another little warning. But they wish the royal family all the best. And all through the article, they point the reader to another article, and get the title of this article. Prince William's reported hot temper is getting a second glance by British tabloids. So now they're inserting within the middle of their digital publications, their articles, their prolific articles that they're churning out 5 to 10 a day, they're linking to damaging articles that the UK tabloids have actually published, putting down Prince William. And they're linking to it several times within their articles. Whoever's paying for this, whether it be advertising, perfectly innocent, advertising revenue, although it's a lot seems to be coming suspiciously from publishing houses that have published uncle-friendly books, but never mind. Purely innocent advertisers, I know, or even prepayment for said editorials by their contributing editor. I have no idea, but it's all above board or perfectly legal. So the readers can click on a link too at the bottom of this article to a complete timeline of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's feud with the royal family. 15th of March, She Knows, coming after William again, saying he only briefly mentioned his wife in the Diana Legacy speech, and incredulous that he didn't include his wife's whereabouts, address all the rumours, talk about the Photoshop scandal, and I quote, any of the other endless rumours about the Duchess of Cambridge. So not only did they say all that to pile on Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, they demoted her as Duchess of Cambridge, sort of put a level pegging with Megsy baby. Suddenly, after the Diana Legacy Awards, all of a sudden all these favourable articles are starting to be pushed out, and with lots of references to Meghan's newly launched business. It's uncanny, isn't it? All purely coincidence. All coincidence. Just uncanny though. So let's have a look about this sudden switch with the ridiculous headline, Meghan Markle launched her new brand on a date that had nothing to do with Kate Middleton. What a ridiculous headline. It proves their desperation, because in order to attract clicks or any interest, they had to mention Kate Middleton when they're pushing out the favourable article on Meghan Markle. Oh, how far you have fallen, Meggie. You can't even attract some clicks now on your own. So they had Kate Middleton in this article that they wanted to push out about Meghan Markle's launch and everything. And they said she did not launch her business, anything to do with Kate Middleton. Well, no one suggested you did. Everyone was suggesting what is probably highly likely is the fact that you pushed it out to ride off the back of the Diana Legacy Awards, because every review, as I've said in another video, of the Diana Legacy Awards mentions Meghan's business. It mentions Meghan's launch. Now, they also say in the same article that this launch date was inspired by their rather pupil-dilated freedom flight. And the article then goes on to rehash the Commonwealth Service in 2020, where the royal family couldn't hide their distaste or their distress or their sense of betrayal. So they hash over all that, obviously favourable to Meghan and Harry and unfavourable to the royal family. And then they have this rather peppy assertion that American Riviera Orchard has the potential to turn into $1 billion brand. in your dreams. $1 billion brand, hey? Wow. I'll believe that when I see it. Then they go, again, click here for the complete timeline of the feud with the royal family between Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and the royal family. Now, interestingly, this link that they're saying click through for the timeline of the feud between Meghan and Harry and the royal family, that article was actually written and pushed out by She Knows magazine. Guess when? What date? 10th of March. Mother's Day in the UK. What a lovely Mother's Day present for everyone in the UK and the Prince and Princess of Wales and Prince Edward on the day of his birthday. What a lovely present. Let's drag up all the rubbish from 4 years ago and push it out on Mother's Day. So I've made some brief notes here. Who's funding this? Who is funding this? Because somebody is. You better check your bank balance, mate. So is this PR or is it propaganda? You decide. It's relentless and it's affecting the monarchy and the good people of the UK. It undermines confidence in their institutions and it sows the seeds of division. So I would suggest that those tasked with protecting those institutions, those tasked with protecting the royal family and the monarchy, should really start to look at this, should really start to look at whether this is a concerted or orchestrated campaign. They really need to track this back. As they say in all the movies, follow the money. So let me know what you think. This has been a bit of a mouthful, a lot to sort of digest. I'd be really interested to see what you think. Many people have been telling me that they've been unsubscribed from this channel. So if you do follow this channel, if you're part of the community, could you please check that you are subscribed? And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you would consider subscribing, I would really appreciate it because it really helps my channel to grow. And that's all I ask of you. So thank you very much. I'll see you on Saturday night for another episode of the Kitty Kelly book. See you then. Bye.